What is going on, guys? George here, and today we are back for an episode of Garage Edition. Yeah. Alright, so today we're back working on Colossus again. It's like the story of my life. Hey, what you doing? Working on my truck. Anyways, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. Yeah. Anyways, so today we're finishing our door panel. Well, not finishing. Way far from it. But we are going to lay the fiberglass down and stuff and make a mold of it. So we're going to do that. So let me show you what we got to do this task for today. Alright, so I showed this before, carnauba wax in the last video. We got packs of fiberglass. I think it might take 1.5 per door, so hopefully this is enough. If not, we'll buy some more. We got our brushes. We got a 1 inch and a 2 inch. Probably do it to 2 inch because it is a big surface we have to cover. We have a box. Why do we have a box for? Well, we have to have a box. So what we're going to do is we'll actually take this and we'll actually take some of it, lay it out, and rip it into little pieces, just like 2 by 2 squares. Now you can actually cut it with scissors and stuff, and some pieces you have to rip apart to get them in certain spaces. So we'll probably take that and make us a couple strips and squares and just small little like 2 inch by 2 inch pieces, and we'll have them here. That way we can just grab them, because this stuff goes everywhere. When you use this, I have gloves, because now some people wears like long sleeves. I'm not. I'll probably regret it, but this right here, fiberglass mat, Satan himself made this. It's terrible. It's oh god, like if you ever worked with this, you know how itchy and crap that stuff is. But we have to use it. So we're going to get everything together and we're going to start. Oh, and I also forgot, we need a cup. Now when I do stuff, I use like a pop bottle and cut the bottom off, water bottle, whatever, because these are really good, and if it gels up in you when you're doing stuff, just throw them away. We got our fiberglass resin. Now this is like $15 a can. Don't really know. I'm thinking at least a can each door, because you do want to put it on good, because you need to soak that up. This to soak that up. So, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 2 cans for each door. Maybe, I don't know, maybe more, maybe less. So, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're getting ready to put our coat of wax down. Just gotta make sure everything's stuck. Alright. Once you put the resin and stuff on, it helps hold it in place. So, I think we did good. It's actually sat overnight. Actually 2 days. So, the sun should have baked it just a little bit. Alright, so that's good. Now, we've got our carnauba wax. Anytime I smell this stuff, it smells like work is being done, because that's the only time I use it is for work. Had to buy a turtle wax thing just to get the pad, because it didn't, $8, $9 a can, and they didn't give you a scuff pad. So we're gonna go ahead, put some on here, and we'll start putting it on like this. Now we'll probably give this, you got to watch this up, make sure don't lift none of your tape up. Now you will have tape outlines on the back, but you really won't see it on the front. But they're easy to sand out, because we'll have to be doing a lot of sanding on it. So put your really good coats. I usually do between 4 and 5 coats. You can do more, but it's 4 to 5 heavy coats. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this, and we'll usually put a coat on, let it dry for a couple minutes, put another one, so on, so on. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so the wax is done. We've got 5 heavy coats on there. We've let it dry in between times, so that way it does give us, the bond, so we're not just smearing the same wax over and over. So that is done. Now we're actually going to go back here and open this stuff up, and we'll actually, like I said, we'll cut some strips, tear some apart, just have it sorted in here so we know where we can start. And just start somewhere where you think. We'll probably start up right there at the door lock up to the left hand corner and work our way across, and then we'll come down, because what's going to take the longest actually isn't like this big area, because you can like put up a piece there and cut it. Now what I'm going to do is I'll cut everything loose strands, but I'll just actually cut like a big square, and then I'll trim it so we can take one big piece, and I'll just wet it down to resin, take the piece, put it there, and then just dab it down in there. That way we don't have to put little piece, it'll be a big piece. So when we put a big piece, we'll have like a big strip going across here, here, but little spots, like in here and stuff, different places, we'll just use little pieces. But when we can use a big piece, we will, because that will save time. This is time consuming. It really does take forever. But when you get it done and stuff, that's the cool part when you see it. But it will take forever to do. It's going to be the rest of this evening, probably just to get that one layer on. And of course I'll go behind the camera and put the other layer on, but basically it's the exact same thing. But let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we got our gloves on. I was wanting to do that little thing, but it don't do it. These are the crappy gloves that already got a hole in them. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut this open. Ugh, stuff is terrible. I'm already getting itchy just looking at it. Alright, so there is our matting. Now, that whole piece would cover the door. So actually, it might be 2 packs for a door. I don't know. It just depends. Because I know we got that big gap there we'll have to fill in. So it might be actually more than, we might need more packs. But that's alright. We'll just get there when we come to it. The other door has been taped up right now as we speak, because I only got one door taped up. I actually bought blue painter's tape. Supposed to be good stuff, and it won't even stick to my door panel. Even after soap water like 3 to 4 times, it wouldn't stick. So I had to use the cheap masking tape that I had, but it's only the small single width. I think it's like 1 inch. But we're gonna go ahead and cut some long strips, and like I said, then I'll cut a big square and hold it up to the door and see if, and then hold it up to the door and then trim it. So let's go ahead and do some cutting. Alright, so we have some sheets about that size. We've got the smaller ones. I've got some loose stuff that ripped up. Got a little bit longer ones, and then we got the long strips we cut at the beginning. So, should have good. Now, I actually cut this. So this actually goes right around in here. So, that covers up a big area for us right there, and of course we'll have to go on around and everything. But we're going to go ahead and mix some resin and try it out. Now, if this stuff we can mix more, we don't have to worry about it hardening. It will harden everything what you put in it, but the thing is though, it's like if you fill this all the way up, this is a slow process. So you don't want to have a lot of this, because if you have too much, then when you have to take one little piece, put it there, dab it in, it'll get hard on you and you'll waste a half a cup. And this stuff isn't cheap, So we got a little 2 brush, 2 inch, should fit down there just right. Got a measuring, a little stir. So basically with this, you just put as much as you want in it. I'm not going to mix right now because I got to set my camera, but you can put how many drops. It'll tell you on here like how much you should put on it. Basically, I've worked with it enough that I know what I want and how fast it'll set. So alright guys, so the first layer is down. We put it down pretty good. Like I said, we still got to put another layer. Now if you look up in here, we haven't put any there yet. Now what I'll do is I'll take the rough and actually take like a grit of sandpaper, sand down a little bit, and we'll go back in and fill it in like I did down here with it, because this overhung, and before I could actually put it up in there, I was going around, and I did this very last, and this already dried, so I have to go back and just take a little bit of sandpaper, and I'll actually probably cut that because it actually bubbled up right there from the curve. Because like I said, you have to take little strands and put in there, because you can't take a big piece because it'll just peel right back up like it did right there. You can see it can actually be pushed in. So we have to go back and do that. But I'll do that behind the cameras and stuff, because, you know, that's just the boring stuff. But right here has about 2 pieces, I think it might be 2 or 3 pieces of matting overlaid. And if you see, that's pretty stout, but you still push it in. But we're probably going to put at least another 1 to 2 pieces on. Now I had a little bit below a half a mat left. But we did use almost our whole full box. Like I said, the little pieces you have to pull apart and put there. You basically, put a little bit of resin, take the piece, put it on there, take your brush, spread it down, and keep going. Now sometimes you'll have a little spot that's open or something. I think right here I didn't put that much down. Well, right there don't matter, but we'll go back because, like I said, we had to go down below that little body line right there. So we'll be cutting probably roughly around there. I'll go through with a marker after we take it off, and I'll just rough cut all the way around, and then we'll actually trim it, and we'll have to get both sides. That side is already taped up. I do have to do that side, but that's going to be behind camera. So what it is tomorrow when I do this, you won't see me putting the other layers on, because it's basically just like I did this. I'll just go back and redo the exact same thing. But what I'll do is I'll put the second layer on this, put a first layer. If I do another layer here, I'll do a third layer, then the second layer, and then I'll go ahead and put another one on, and that way both of them come off at the same time. But basically, when this comes off, which we'll grab back there, pull it off, we will have the mold of the door. You could actually take this off and like fill it in and do some crazy stuff to it. I'm trying to refrain from that, but we never know. But I could, and then you just put it on there, and basically you still have your stock door panel, but the bottom part down here will be coming off. Actually did drip a little bit of resin and stuff down there, but no biggie. But like I said, that will be coming off. We'll put in 4 6.5s, and still up in there if we're going to do 8 or 1 6.5 there. But that will be painted purple, sanded out smooth, and it'll be real nice. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Now I know we didn't do a lot, but it's so time consuming. Like if you do it, you'll know how time consuming it is, because you gotta break every piece apart and put it and stuff. So I wish it was a lot faster. A lot of these projects take time, and that's why there's so many parts. Anyways, guys, we will be taking this off, and we'll have the mold and stuff and going from there. I think I had the camera pointing how we did. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you push that subscribe button. And as always, this is George, and I am out of here.